4 or 5 days before I've gone to bed, I've listened to the soundtrack to Tears of the Sun and The Last Samurai before I've fallen asleep, just because I like the music. I love the music. Believe it or not, I've never seen the film, either film, but I like the music. And that's kind of it. Other times I'll fall asleep listening to Swedish death metal.
That explains a lot.
How does one sleep with that?
What do you mean?
Like, when I think of, like, going to, like, bed music, I don't think, like, Amon Amarth, like... Or, like, Rammstein or things like that.
I fall asleep listening to Amon Amarth.
Like, does your brain not work right? Like, I don't... Like, that's just not, like, calming.
No, I just...
That's like when I, like, stay awake, I'm writing a term paper music.
No, I just... That stuff is so good, I'm able just to kind of put my mind in a groove and fall asleep.
That is not a groove. That is a loud, noisy garage with a bunch of mechanics using all the tools at once.
Which is funny because I can't fall asleep I couldn't sleep at all when the people next door were having a foundation put in. I couldn't sleep at all. I was ripping my hair out. But listening to Amon Amarth, no problem. Opeth, no problem.
So I listen to podcasts to go to sleep. And not so anybody who might be listening thinks like your podcasts are boring. But I only have so many hours in the day to read and do all the other things I want. And so podcasts get shoved way down on the priority list. And so over 2 or 3 nights, as I'm laying there falling asleep, I'll listen to a podcast that I wanted to get through. So I'll get through 20 minutes and then 20 minutes and then 20 minutes. And yeah, that's how I get my podcast in. Although I won't lie, I listen to James Polis, because his podcasts, I listen to his podcast repeatedly because for some reason, one, they're entertaining and informative, and I missed things the first time around. But his voice is melodic enough that it's almost soothing enough to go to sleep to, no matter what he's talking about. But I also get the informational stuff he does on his show. So yeah, podcasts are what I go to sleep to. I can't go to sleep to music. There's no way I could go to sleep to music. Because, I actively listen to music. So.
Yeah. I have to do something without words and something very, I could do classical when I sleep and that kind of thing. But my husband listens to, classic rock, when I'm doing my podcast, so he can't hear me when he's trying to sleep. So luckily, I just get tanked during the show so I can fall asleep through the classical, or the classic rock. Otherwise, I say the words in my head, and sometimes I mouth them, and so basically I just sit there mouthing these words instead of actually going to sleep.
Yeah, no.
See, I'm weird because there be sometimes where I am one of those people who repeats a song just over and over and over again, and the reason why I do that is my ear, I guess it's because I was a musician, is trained to listen to different instruments. So sometimes, if I'm lying down and I'm listening to, I don't know, pick a band. Somebody pick a band.
Nickelback.
Fall Out Boy.
All right. Say I'm listening to Foo Fighters, right? The Color and the Shape, one of my favorite albums. I'll try to listen to the guitars and then the drums and then the bass. I really do this more with progressive rock, or other types of blues and stuff like that, where I'll focus on one instrument playing and how the drums sound. Then I'll try to focus on what the bass is doing and the guitars. Or the rhythm guitars. I guess I'm just weird.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Okay.
But I was kind of excited to see, even if I don't like his newer stuff, that Beck had won, I believe it was 4 Grammys this year.
All I know is that my timeline exploded with
well,
indignation from
really?
people. Yeah. And people are like, who are Beck? And I'm like, you're watching a music show and you know nothing about music. Like, there was music before Auto-Tune and Beyonce. Totally, there was music before that. And it was good.
And the guy writes his own stuff. He plays all the instruments. Doesn't he play like 14 instruments or something like that?
Yeah, like an insane number. And I'm thinking, well, one of the things I tweeted was I feel like there should be 2 Grammys shows. One for musicians and one for people whose stuff gets played on Top 40 radio.
That is amazing. That's a great idea.
You've got a very good point. Because then, they'd actually put, I don't know, bands that have musical talent in the awards and stuff like that. I mean, you could have Coheed and Cambria get nominated for a Grammy, or Airborne Toxic Event or something like that.
Well, I'm not anti-pop music. I'm really not. Like, I have young kids and some of the stuff is kind of catchy and it's great background and it's fun. And that, I get the appeal of some of it. Most of it is crap. But some of it, look, I'll be honest, like Miley Cyrus, I think is a phenomenal singer. She doesn't write her own music. Her performances make the mother in me want to slap her across the face. And I won't let my children actually watch anything that has her in it. No music videos, no performances on live shows. I think she's a crappy influence on young women. But she's a great singer. And so I'll listen to her music. I won't spend a penny on it, but, I'll listen to it. And, there's other artists. Like, believe it or not, I listen to a few Katy Perry songs because of the girls. And obviously, I listen to Hosier. So we had a big fight about his name.
That how do you say it? Is it Hosier?
He says Hosier.
Hosier. Okay, well I'll remember.
Really?
That.
Yeah. Of course, nobody else on the planet does. But yeah, no. So I mean, I'm not a pop music hater. I just think that if you try to tell me that somebody who sits down and writes their own lyrics and writes their own music and records 8 tracks of instruments that they've played themselves is comparable to somebody who walks into a studio and gets auto-tuned, then yeah, no, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh no, but Kanye is standing up for creativity and whatnot.
Whose creativity?
Exactly. Well,
there are 5 songwriters, duh.
Yeah, exactly. He was pissed off again because Beyonce didn't win. I don't know what his obsession with that is, but he was
jealous
basically
of Jay-Z. I don't know.
I don't know what it is, and honestly, I'm not trying to understand the man. He's obviously insane, but holy crap, dude. He hadn't been at the Grammys for 6 years, and I don't know, was that an agreement between him and the Grammys, or if he boycotted them, or they said, no, dude, just don't. And he finally came back this year.
He knew exactly what he was doing when he got up on that stage.
Yeah, he just wants people talking about him. He doesn't give a crap if it's negative publicity or not, which is ridiculous.
And I think he's talented, I'll be honest.
He's talented.
He's not my favorite.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of his music. I'm just not. I don't think it just doesn't stand out for me. And the few songs that I actually are tolerant of and, have played in the past at least, usually have snippets from older songwriters, like older songs. For one thing, there was one song that I liked, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it actually had snippets of Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. I could listen to it over and over again, and he has snippets of that song in there. But then again, I don't know how that's creativity when you take somebody else's music.
I don't know. It's called sampling, I think it's what they call it.
Yes, but it's not that creative. I'm just saying. When I think of creative, it's something you actually create yourself.
Well, that's why I'll never be a fan of the Black Eyed Peas, because, the song they already like to listen to is really a Dick Dale song.
What song is that?
Da na 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 na. Whatever that is.
I don't know. I haven't really been listening to them. Honestly, I don't listen to radio. Like, I will hear it once in a while, when I'm out in public and that kind of thing. But I stick to Spotify and Pandora.
The only music radio station that I will listen to occasionally is the Christian rock station, which plays, like, Screamo, and that's where, like, I don't know, about half of the bands that I know about, I got it from them. They're the only one that I will listen to. I stopped listening to music radio in 2000 when I turned on one station that was the alternative station here in Dallas, and they were playing, I don't know, we'll just say it was a Nickelback song, okay? It wasn't a Nickelback song, but because this was before Nickelback was around. But we'll say it was Nickelback. Played some Nickelback song, and I was like, nope, can't handle this. Switched to a different station, the quote-unquote hard rock station that, played Ozzy Osbourne and Drowning Pool and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same song. They were playing the same song at almost the exact same place in the song. So then I switched to another station, which was not owned by the company that owned the first two stations. Same song. It's like, haven't listened to mainstream music radio since.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. And even if, like, I liked the music, they seem to play, like, the newer stations that play the, top 40 hits. They play the same songs over and over again. It's basically the same cycle every hour.
Now, see, I listen to a local rock station. It's probably the only station.
And it plays newer stuff?
Yeah, no, they play newer stuff, but they also have the standbys, like they know their audience, right? I tweet about them all the time. Hi, KBPI. Like every time I get into the car, and they're kind of predictable. Like I know, like right around 9 a.m.-ish, they're going to play a Tool song. And it just so happens that I happen to be in the car right about that time, and Tool in the car makes me super happy. But they play, a pretty good mix of newer stuff, plus the stuff they know their local audience likes. Like they're super. One of the reasons I do listen to them is because they're super community oriented. Like way listen to what's going on in the community, and they're real big into community projects and supporting local, not just local arts, but local everything. And I love that about them. Like they love the city, like really love it.
Well, that's few and far between. So that's awesome.
The show I was thinking of, the song I was thinking of was the song Pump It by Black Eyed Peas, which personally I like the original song called Miserlou by Dick Dale, which can be found on, I believe, it was used in Pulp Fiction.
I haven't seen that in a long time either.
There we go. So, with that, we are going to take a break since it is the bottom of the hour. This is the Roundtable of Extreme Liberty. I am your guest host, Taylor Millard, in for Alan Bordius. Crystal Schoonveld is also here, along with Michelle Ray and Christine Roussel. So, thank you guys very much for being here. And we will take a break, be back in a couple of minutes, right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. Back after this.
I don't have answers. I have opinions and an internet connection. Hi, this is Amy Curtis from Modern Comments Radio, and you can catch me live Wednesday evenings at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Hi, I'm Taylor Millard, co-host of The Right War, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio.